Rob Ford is Professor of Politics at Manchester University and Senior Fellow at the UK in a Changing Europe group, and joins us. Rob, thanks for joining us.
Well, good afternoon.
Can Reform UK win a British general election? Such an interesting question.
Well, I mean, the first thing to say is after the past 10 years that we've had in British politics, it is unwise to rule out scenarios that look unlikely on the face of it. Expect the unexpected has been a pretty good rule over the past decade of volatility. But, and there is, I think, a fairly substantial but here, Farage, I think, faces three very hefty challenges if he's going to achieve what some of the bookies think he might. There's the challenge of history, there's the challenge of geography, and there's the challenge of organisation. History-wise, I'm old enough to remember the dim and distant days of 2019 when his predecessor party, the Brexit Party, led in the polls. That obviously then disappeared as a lead when Boris Johnson recovered those votes. Back in 1981, the Alliance had enormous leads in the polls in 1981 and 1982.
Yeah, SDP
Liberal Alliance. It looked like a fight for second place between the Lib Dems and the Conservatives, with the Alliance carrying all before them. Didn't come to pass. No new party has entered the top two since the 1920s, Evan.
Okay,
so it's not
so that
easy.
was Labour. Okay, geography. What's the geography one then? Is this going to be something to do with first past the post?
It is exactly something to do with first past the post. Well spotted. The problem that Reform has is very simple to state and very difficult to solve. Its support is pretty evenly distributed. Not 100% evenly distributed, but pretty evenly distributed, which makes it very easy for it to come second place in hundreds of seats, but really hard to convert those second places into first places. Now, at a certain point, you get a kind of electoral lift-off. It's non-linear, and you get Reform going from second everywhere to first everywhere. Look at how Scottish Labour recovered so many seats this year in Scotland by getting just past that lift-off point. So it could happen, but they're still quite a long way from the point where it does happen. And that brings us to point number 3, which is organisation. How do you deal with evenly distributed votes, a flat geography? You build local strongholds, as parties like the Liberal Democrats have done in the past. And that's what some of the Reform people, such as Nick Candy, are talking about. That's what they're over in the US talking to the Trump people about. Is it possible to do that? Yes, of course. Are Reform UK starting from a standing start in this regard? Also, yes. Organisation has not been their strong point in the past. So all of these things can be overcome, but they are difficult.
You've been really clear. Basically, unlikely but possible. Is that, am I being fair in your summary?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Rob,
that is fair.
That's the takeaway. Rob Ford there from University of Manchester. Thank you.